So a lot of people ask me to build bigger bases for larger groups. I don't have as much experience playing with larger groups, so I don't have a lot of experience building for larger groups. This base started as a smaller group space, but to make this base fully secured and to shut down any vulnerabilities, I believe you would need a group of at least 6 to 7 players. So check it out. Alright, quick disclaimer. If you guys didn't know, these anvil rocks are not all the same, especially with the new graphics overhaul. So the likelihood of you building the same base as this is very low. But I always recommend that you guys take ideas from my builds and improve on them. Use bits and pieces, and hopefully this will inspire you guys to make your own. A huge part in base security is deception. And if a raider has seen my video and knows the layout of the base, it's going to be way easier to raid. So for any builds that you guys see from YouTube, be sure to switch things up a bit to throw the raider off guard. Enjoy. Alright, so going in the first flank tower. A ladder here to get up. Alright, so this is what it looks like here. Got a cupboard on the first floor. And if you notice here, this is how we get up. We have the doors to block the ladders. Simply close those. And we got that one. I guess you don't really need a door there, but all right, so we got a cupboard right here. Then we have another cupboard right here. So I have the cupboards staggered for a reason. In order to actually build up, you would need access to all 3. And I'll show you guys how to do that later. All right, so right here, we're gonna use this to watch all angles around the tower. You can see pretty much everywhere, just all around you. Keep in mind if you're too close to this little edge right here, this little hole, your AK will fall out. So it makes it real easy to shoot down on people. And we got these for long range. You could use doors here if you prefer, but since I have the little peek holes here, I'm using windows for better cover for long range. Notice I don't have a ladder hatch to get on the roof. That's by design because I want it to be hard to get on here. And the reason why is because if people pick up through the ladder hatch, they could potentially just flamethrower this wall down right here and then simply just jump across. So I want it as hard as possible to do that. You could put spikes up here. I'm not super worried about it, so I'm not going to, but if you guys do want to beef it up a little bit, you could do that. All right, so going over to the next tower, we'll check out this one first. So I have 2 versions of this. This is not quite as fortified as the other one. As you can tell, the other one, I use actual stone, real stone and foundations and stuff, where this only uses high external wooden walls. So these can be flamethrowered down pretty easily, but it does cost a lot less, so keep that in mind. Also, I have a cupboard on the bottom floor here. Just to show you guys this real quick, it does cost 2 walls to get through this. This wall should be the other way, but so yeah, I have a little cupboard kind of hidden back here. So it looks like it's just a 1x1, but it's really not. They could potentially go through right here, but it's only if they know. But yeah, they saw the video, so they probably do know. But yeah, it costs just about the same, and it costs twice as much to get through. So you guys can use that wherever you can. All right, so now going inside here. I have twig stairs here. You could put a box or something. The box was limiting my movement a little bit, so I didn't like that, but you guys can use whatever you please. I have these boxes here just to make it easier to jump up. Do be wary of this. So you don't want this too close because they could potentially head jump. This is too low and too far away for us to worry about that, so no need to worry. And up here, we got a simple airlock. Notice all the ceilings are sheet metal, makes it harder to pick up. And this is essentially the same tower as the other one. Nice and easy. There's really no hiding spots for people to hide behind the rocks or anything like that. And same thing, we don't have roof access on purpose. This one especially, we don't want them to be able to jump across here. I don't think they can make the jump, but if you double jump with an extra person, it is potentially possible to do it. And another thing, I do have a tool cupboard right here. But this tool cupboard is underlapped by this one. So let's say I don't have access to this one, right? So I'm building block now. Check this out. All right, so as you can see, the main tool cupboard is actually blocking us. So let's say the raider does gain access to this tool cupboard. So the raider can build right here, but they cannot build right here, and that's the important part. They could maybe, let's see. Yeah, see, that's too far. That's too far. So even if they gain access to this one in here, the one on the inside is going to overlap and it's not going to allow us to build. So that's huge. All right, so back inside here now, in order to cross, what we have to do is simply build across. And then I do recommend having a little box here just with something like this, just having a lot of wood, having a lot of building plans and whatnot, and make sure you replenish these. Otherwise, you won't be able to get into your base, so keep that in mind, guys. All right, and then going in the other side tower, so there's actually 2 entrances here. And you can use this as kind of a shooting dock, nothing too special, nothing too fancy. The other entrance is just on this side, and I have these little stone blocks here just to make it a little easier to jump on. All right, and this is kind of a little base in itself right here. So we have some extra storage here. Probably wouldn't really put anything too important in there just because it's only one wall to get the loot. We got a cupboard, and that's in this little base here. There's actually 3 cupboards, and I'll show you here in just one sec. There's another cupboard, some extra loot space. Again, don't put anything too important in these ones. We're back up here in the little shooting port. And then we got another cupboard right here. So that's a total of 3 cupboards in here. Again, I'll show you guys how to stack those cupboards a little bit later. And this is the same style of tower. We can shoot down in every angle. And I have this little roof here just so it's easier to see side to side. You could have a block, but just allows for a little bit better mobility and visibility. Getting across here. These doors are actually open on purpose. Same deal as the other towers. In order to get up, just need to close those doors, climb the ladders. I have little turrets here because the weak spots of the base are definitely these little rock bases here. So if a raider were to raid here, get on the roof or anything, you could just pop down from the top of the roof, online of course, and then open the door and then have the turret shoot. All right, going back inside of the base, we'll take a look at the first story first. All right, so this right here, you can plant hemp seeds. Looks like this one's going bad a little bit, but we got one of our most important tool cupboards right here. That's the one that's overlapping on both sides. Going up to the second floor. All right, so here you can hold a little bit of loot. I'm not going to say where to hold most of your loot. I have my loot in this base pretty spread out pretty evenly. So you want to spread your loot out as much as you can. I wouldn't recommend having your loot in just one area so it's easy to raid. If they want to raid your base, it's better to have it spread out just so they can, spend the most possible C4 or rockets to get all of your loot. And right here in the sides, if you want to get to the other towers, you can do that. Or if you're a boss like me, you can just do this.
K-Simo!
All right, then coming over here. So this is just that loot room that we just looked in. So basically what my hope is for this, you could put a door right here so you can have access to the box on this side, but my hope is that a raider would come in here and be like, oh, what the fuck is this? And, maybe skip through it. All right, so now the other side is exactly the same. This is just a little storage area, only one box. Again, keeping that loot pretty spread out throughout the base. All right, now we're going up to the 3rd floor. A little extra box right there. All right, so this is pretty much identical to the floor right below it. We got the same thing going on here. Notice I don't have access to the other side though, and I'll show you why here. So this is just mirrored from the other side, and then we have another little loot room right here on this side. No access on the other side just to save resources. You could have access on both sides, but just keep in mind it's gonna use more metal. All All right, now this is one of the battlements floors. We got lots of ladder hatches, make it nice and easy to shoot down, use that height advantage, doors to shoot from long distance. You do need doorways for this. The windows don't work for some reason with the stability. Doorways are the only viable option for this. Got an extra cupboard right there. And then same thing on this side. All right, now this right here, we have the fireman chute. It just takes you right down here. So you can't get all the way to the top using this method, but you can get down pretty easily. And then one other thing I really like about this is you can simply walk straight off if you need to, if you're in a hurry. And once again, one thing I did want to show off actually, you don't need to actually jump. You can simply scooch forward and just go like that if you're not the best jumper. All right, so going upstairs now. All right, so this is the main battlements area. So this, if someone's raiding you, this is gonna be where you want to be. Long distance shooting from right here, if they're up on your base, right here, and you can just destroy them from up here. Got so many ladder hatches. Just right up here, you're gonna be like, justice reigns from above. And for long distance peeking, you can use these roofs. I'll show you what those metal walls are here for in just one sec. Got some extra boxes going on right here. Notice the placement of the loot rooms are fairly far away from each other. So the reason why I don't have loot rooms right here is because you could rocket right here and then get both that loot room and that loot room. All right, so we got loot rooms right there, and right there, and then same thing on the other side. All right, so I'm gonna raid this tower just to show you guys why this cupboard stacking method is OP for this build. I do realize that having these walls close together, close to the actual tower, isn't quite as strong as if you space the towers further away from each other, but also at the same time, it is a little harder to shoot down if people are up on your base. The walls are a little bit further away from the base. So it's just personal preference, just what I prefer. You guys can do it however you like. For those of you guys that don't know what I'm talking about, if you shoot right here, it's gonna splash both the walls and the high external stone walls. So let's raid this real quick and then I'll show you guys kind of how this works. But now that I have building access, let's see how far I can build up. All right, so I'm blocked here, but I could still, you know, maybe go like this. And I can't go any further. So now I would need to figure out where the cupboard is, maybe put on the other side, or maybe check the other side. I could keep going up. I could pick up right here, but keep in mind, you know, while you're being shot or if you're doing this online, it's gonna be very difficult. So in order to raid this base, you're gonna need to hit all of the cupboards, and that's why this shit's so OP. All right, so for the tool cupboard trick, you guys didn't know, tool cupboards are actually not a perfect sphere. So as you can see, I can't place it up here. But if you start from the top, you can actually place tool cupboards on every other floor. And that's why this is pretty overpowered. So what this means is if I gain access to the bottom one, I can only build up to the next one. Now I'm blocked. So in order to build up further, I need to gain access again and again. And that's going to be the case for all of these towers here. So in order to build up to the top to my main base, you're going to need to get all three of those cupboards before building, and you're going to have to get the cupboard inside to fully be able to build. So even if you get all three in here, you're still not going to be able to build all the way up. All right, so real quick, I'm going to show you how to place the foundations and the high external wooden walls, because that's definitely going to be the hardest part about building this base. So you can either place the walls first or you can place the foundations first. In this instance, I'm placing the foundations first, but when I built the actual base in the video, I actually placed the walls first. And keep in mind, you might have to delete some foundations, but as long as you keep some of them up, you can build right back. You really need to make sure these walls are on the very far edge as far as you can. And then you can cap off the ends just like this. Thanks so much if you guys made it this far in the video. I know it was long, but whoever made it to the end, let me know in the comments so I know who my true fans are. A huge thanks to Monster Alpha for helping me refine this base. And if you guys like the base or have any suggestions for making it better, let me know in the comments. And if this video helped you guys out, be sure to smack that like button. This is Casey Mo. You guys are watching Casey Mo TV.